Morning, ladies and gentlemen. What I want to do is quick walk you through the location for the resources that you will need for the second DBQ practice that we are going to be doing today. Now, one of the first things to note is that you again are going to be sharing your DBQs with somebody else and having them critique them. It is fine if you want to do a group of 3, or even if there are 4 of you, you can all just switch with one person. It's also important to line up who you are going to share these with sooner than later, as to procrastinate means you might not be able to find yourself a partner. So for the DBQ today, we are going to go to Resources up at the top. Once in Resources, we will go to the DBQ Writing Resources, and then to the second DBQ here, the Glorious Revolution. We again suggest that as you are doing this, to kind of take into account what you have done so far that has been successful and helpful. What resources that you have had out. What maybe pre-writing sheets. If you are interested in, again, using that Marco pre-writing sheet, it is there for you. But the DBQ here is, if we jump in right here for you, and this is one looks at the Glorious Revolution. Now, we've modified this one from a 7-document one down to a 5-document one. Now, we are going to eventually be uploading the samples that were provided for us based on a 7-document DBQ. So we actually retained the document numbers. So what I mean when I say that, if I scroll down, you will see that this goes document 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. While there's only 5 documents. The reason that we kept those numbers is because when we upload the actual samples themselves, we want you to be able to see how they used, for example, document 2. If we had renumbered them to this one being document 1 instead, it would have created some level of confusion overall. So documents, just use them as they are listed. Document 2, 4, there won't be a 1, a 3, so on and so forth as you look at these. So your question is, evaluate whether or not the Glorious Revolution of 1688 can be considered part of the Enlightenment. Now, before you do that, and one of the things that we want you to consider, if you're going to type it again, here's where you're going to be typing it. If we scroll down, I want you to kind of, again, as I said, take a moment and just review your experience with the first DBQ. The other big thing is that you aren't going right to the last second. You need to, as we said here, leave 2 minutes for final review and submission, because it would really suck if, yes, you hit submit with 3 seconds left. However, by the time it sends it electronically to wherever it is sending it, those 3 seconds are gone. And as a result, you are 1 second late. Remember, a submission after that deadline results in an automatic disqualification, and you will have to do the makeup test in June, which would be pretty horrible for everybody. So again, we have the kind of suggested time layout here for you. If you do have a printer and you want to print off the DBQs, you could do that. Just keep in mind that may take time, so you need to know what your system is at home. One of the biggest things is to just, if you can, even do 2 windows, because get in that habit. Because the day of, they're going to have a clock counting down, and you want to keep your eye on that clock at all times. This is that Marco note sheet, that pre-writing sheet. If you're interested in printing that off, you could have that before. But take a couple minutes to kind of get yourself set and then begin and start that clock. If you don't finish, just make a note of where you would have been when you finish. Now, as you are done, when you are going through and actually scoring it, we will load in here on Friday and over the weekend some of those samples, so you can look at how yours was and self-critique, and then also have your partner's critique. You're going to upload your partner's critique and your DBQ by Monday at 7:25 for me. If you have any questions, please let me know. I have a webinar middle of next week, and I'll set up a couple Zooms to go over the test material as more of it becomes available after. Have a great weekend. If you don't have any missing work, and you get this done and your partner's critiqued on Thursday, you have the day off on Friday. So enjoy it, and I will chat with you guys on Monday.